Imagine waking up one morning and realizing the money that runs the world is quietly losing its power. No breaking news alert, no dramatic announcement. Just a slow shift happening behind the scenes while most people are distracted. The US dollar has ruled global finance for decades. Wars were funded with it. Oil was priced in it. Entire economies were built around it. But now, for the first time in modern history, countries are asking a dangerous question. What if the dollar is no longer untouchable? Before we go any further, if you like deep, calm explanations about power, money, and the forces shaping the future, take a second to like this video and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and it tells the algorithm this content is worth showing. Now let's continue. For over 75 years, the US dollar has been the world's main currency. After World War II, the global system was rebuilt with the dollar at its center. If a country wanted to trade, borrow, or store wealth, the dollar was the safest option. Even today, most international trade is priced in dollars. Central banks around the world hold trillions of dollars in reserves. This gave the United States something no empire ever had before: the ability to print money that the entire world depends on. But power like this never lasts forever. Over the past few years, something unusual has been happening. Countries that were once deeply tied to the dollar are slowly stepping away. China and Russia are trading with each other in their own currencies. Middle Eastern countries are discussing oil deals that don't involve the dollar. BRICS nations are openly talking about alternatives. This movement has a name: de-dollarization. And whether people realize it or not, it could change how the world works. Now here's the important part. De-dollarization does not mean the dollar suddenly collapses tomorrow. This is not a movie. Real financial power shifts happen slowly, quietly, and then all at once. Think of it like a crack forming in a wall. First, it looks harmless, but over time, pressure builds, and one day, the structure is no longer stable. So why is this happening now? One reason is trust. For decades, the dollar was trusted because the US economy was strong and stable. But massive debt has changed the picture. The United States now carries trillions of dollars in debt, and it keeps growing. Every time money is printed to solve a problem, the value of existing money weakens. Inflation may slow down, but the damage to confidence stays. Another reason is sanctions. The US dollar became a weapon. Countries that disobeyed American policies were cut off from dollar systems. Their assets were frozen. Their trade was blocked. From the US perspective, this was power. From the rest of the world's perspective, it was a warning. It can happen to them, it can happen to anyone. And once fear enters the system, countries start looking for exits. China understands this very well. It holds massive dollar reserves, but it also knows that relying too much on another country's currency is risky. So it invests in gold, pushes its own currency in trade deals. It builds financial systems outside US control. Russia, after being heavily sanctioned, had no choice but to accelerate this shift. And now, other countries are watching closely. Here's where it gets interesting. Dollar strength is not just about money, it's about psychology. People believe in it, markets trust it, governments depend on it. The moment that belief weakens, even slightly, the system feels pressure. You don't need everyone to leave the dollar. You just need enough big players to reduce their dependence. And that's already happening. Central banks are buying gold at record levels, not because gold is trendy, but because gold has no politics. No country controls it. No government can freeze it. That alone tells you a lot about where trust is moving. Now let's be clear. US dollar is not collapsing today. It's still powerful. It is still dominant, but dominance is not permanent. History shows us that every global reserve currency eventually loses its position. The British pound once ruled the world. Before that, it was the Dutch guilder. Power shifts when empires overextend, when debt grows, and when confidence fades. The real danger is not collapse. The real danger is adjustment. If the world slowly uses the dollar less, the United States loses its biggest advantage. Borrowing becomes more expensive. Inflation becomes harder to control. Living costs rise quietly, not overnight, but steadily. And the average person feels it last, when it's already too late to react. This is why most people won't see it coming. They'll blame prices. They'll blame politicians. They'll blame corporations. But they won't see the deeper shift happening in the background. And here's the uncomfortable truth. De-dollarization is not about destroying the US. It's about countries protecting themselves. The world is becoming more divided, more regional, more cautious. And in that kind of world, relying on one currency feels dangerous. So what happens next? Most likely, we move into a multipolar system. No single currency rules everything. The dollar remains important, but it shares power. Trade happens in multiple currencies. Gold plays a bigger role. Digital currencies enter the picture. Control becomes more spread out, but also more unstable. And instability always creates winners and losers. Those who understand what's happening early adapt. Those who ignore it keep living normally until reality forces change. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Because the biggest shifts in history don't announce themselves. They happen quietly while people argue about small things. If you've watched this far, you already understand more than most, and I'm curious. Do you think the dollar will remain dominant for the next 20 years? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a slow global reset? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them, and the discussion here matters. If this video made you think differently, share it with someone who still believes nothing ever changes. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this channel dives deep into power, psychology, and the forces shaping the future. Stay aware. Stay ahead.